Welcome to Fluido Moments, our podcast series where we will talk about what's it like to be a Fluidian, what we do every day, and what our culture is all about. This is your backstage pass to all things Fluido. So with me today, I have Mr. Panu Luukka. I don't even know how to introduce you. You are like the culture guru.
Keep going. Yeah.
You've written a book, so that makes you an author.
Yes.
You have your own company.
Yes.
And you love Fluido.
Yes.
So
you forgot the handsome.
Did I?
Yes.
What else did I forget?
That was pretty.
That was pretty good?
That was pretty good, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So and that's why we asked you here, mainly because of the culture guru thing and because you love Fluido.
And because I love Fluido.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Those are good reasons.
Yeah, I think they're perfect reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Thank you for coming. We're really, I don't know, how long have we known each other? Maybe 5 years?
About, approximately. Yeah.
So 5 years is a long time, and
it is.
And if you've watched Fluido, all that time kind of either helped us a little bit with our culture in the beginning, a little bit. Did you see? Yeah, no. Yeah. So you've helped us with our culture and working with Kai, our CEO, and so forth.
Yeah.
And then you've watched us kind of do it on our own, and you've helped us with understanding what's important for our employees and all sorts of things. So I want to talk about all of that today.
All of that, yeah.
All of that today.
Luckily we have the day.
Yes, that's right. The whole day. I have nowhere else to be than this studio with you.
The world's longest podcast.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it.
All right. Okay. I should have gotten a better chair, but yeah, we'll be fine. But so you're helping all these companies with their culture and their organization, and you're talking about how important it's to understand what the employee wants and all of that. But I want to ask you, what's meaningful for you? What do you appreciate in a good working culture?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about. Yes, I have. But the thing is that to me the most important thing is that my work should have some kind of a meaning. And I don't mean meaning in the way that I should vanish the feminine. Is it not the feminine? I don't want to vanish the feminine. Well, let's change the subject. I don't want to. I would love to come up with the drug that beats coronavirus or something, but that I don't mean meaningful work like that we have to take the hunger away from the world, because I can't do it. To me, the meaningful thing is that I can have some kind of an impact in employees or team leaders or CEOs' life in a positive way, that it somehow reflects and changes the way that the company operates, or how the employee can see his or her work. So these kind of nano changes. Of course, I would love to change the whole companies to become a better workplaces for employees. I would love to change the way people do work in Finland. That's the mission of our company, Leidenschaft, is that we want to change the way people work in Finland. We want to bring passion into the Finnish working life. So that's the most important thing for me. But then the second most important thing for me is the people that I work with.
Okay.
I've been a self-entrepreneur where I was only me, myself, and I, and even I can be bored with myself.
Imagine.
Think about that. That it took a week, but it's for me. It's hugely important and meaningful to have people around me whom I trust, from whom I can learn, whom I enjoy working with, and with whom I can build something bigger than just being myself. And then it also, it doesn't mean only the employees that we have in Leidenschaft or in significant company. I also want to work with companies who are nice and more wiser than me, and so that I put a lot of effort in finding companies whom I want to work with.
So you don't take just anyone on as a client.
At this time when we are recording this, when the corona hit a little really bad in Finnish economy, it might be a little bit kind of not true to say that now we would work with anybody, but basically in the real life, my Leidensoft aims to build a reputation where we can choose our clients, that we can work with the companies who really understand the meaning of company culture, who really want to build better workplaces for their employees, and who really want to build successful companies. So we can choose our clients at this moment, and it's a good thing. But I wouldn't work for asshole, even though they would pay me a lot.
Well, I'm really glad we are or have been your guys' customer, because then that kind of at least puts us into a certain category.
Have we worked lately? Have I been able to send you invoices lately?
Well, if you have, we haven't paid them. No, but yeah, it's a nice situation if you can do that. And also, I suppose in your line of business, then also the customers that you like working with get better results, of course.
Hopefully.
Things that you're trying to change.
Yeah. Some of our clients have even bought us 2 times. So I think that those have benefited from our work.
Yeah, sounds good. I think we might fall into that category as well. Yeah. So you didn't mess up the first time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And you get invitation to Fluido podcast by selling them things cheaply.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. We didn't have to pay a lot to get here, I think.
Probably. I don't know. I think I asked you nicely.
Yeah.
And then didn't give you a choice. So still really much appreciate you being here. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, so that's one part. But then I also mentioned that you've written a book. So why did you want to write a book about culture?
This is a long story.
Okay, but I love hearing stories.
Yeah. Okay, long story is that I've loved books my entire life. It's been I spent my youth in library and reading books, and they are very meaningful for me. Then there is a small narcissistic part in me also who because I love books, so wouldn't it be nice to have a book which has your name in the back cover?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it would be. So it's been my dream has always been that I will write a book. But I've said that I will write a book when I have some meaningful things to say. And I don't know if I was ready to write the book last year, or if I've been able to choose when I write a book, I might not have written it last year, because there are some things that I still wanted to understand. But then the subject of my book is company culture. And it's this podcast is all about the company culture.
That's right.
And it's the very hot topic at the moment in Finland, in Europe, in US. It's everywhere. Company culture is the thing at the moment. And because Leidensoft wants to be in Finland, the house with most understanding and the most capable company organization, agency, which can somehow help other companies to benefit from the company culture. So we had to kind of establish ourselves and own the domain. And in Finland, you own the domain of something by either being an academic, either working in a governmental organization like something that it gives you the status, or then you write a book. So we had to write a book last year in in order to own the domain of company culture. So that's why it's just a small book. It's not a huge or big. It has only 439 pages. So
I was just going to say it's quite thick. Okay.
Yeah, but that's because I didn't have enough time to get out everything that I wanted.
Okay.
I'm really proud of the book. It's good. It's like a basic, I don't know, encyclopedia about company culture, and that was the focus. I wanted to write it in that way, that because the biggest problem in company cultures, from my point of view, is that people don't understand what is meant by company culture. So everybody, it's easy to talk about. It's a word that it's easy to drop, and then you think, everybody thinks that this guy knows everything because he said company culture is strategies for breakfast, but nobody understands what it means. So I think that in Finland we were missing the book that tells the basic story, which helps organizations to have the common understanding of what is meant by company culture. And that's why the yrityskulttuuri on kuningas, company culture is the king and the queen, of course. But that's why I wrote the book in that kind of a format. And it became such a big book. But it's important, and I think that after people have read it, they have a better understanding what is meant by a company culture. So after you understand what is the company culture, it's easier to lead, and it's easier to do things with the company culture. Because quite many people think that it means just the beanbags in your office, or
the cookies in the
cookies
or special coffee.
Yeah.
And what I've read the book. And
you have?
I have. And
okay, then you're the third one. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
My mother and father.
Okay, your parents and me. Okay, good. Yeah. And then, but the reason I read it is because Fluido's mentioned in it a couple of times.
Oh, it is.
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
So now you've watched Fluido for about 5 years or so, and from the side, and you know Kai, our CEO, very well, and you've met me and a lot of other people at Fluido.
Other people.
So, could you describe Fluido for me? What do you see when you look at our company, and what is Fluido to your eyes?
To my eyes, of course, we have to start from the thing that it's an expert organization which has a lot of professional colleagues. That's like the thing that it's easy to say.
Yeah.
But we have to keep that in mind, that it's not a kindergarten or daycare center for elderly people.
That is right.
Or the young people like you.
Yes, or exactly.
But we have to understand that it's a professional company where super professional people work. But the thing that struck me when I first had a possibility to meet Fluido and to dig in, because Fluido, when I haven't heard about Fluido. You work on Salesforce and I don't use, and we didn't have any contact. What was like striking to me was that there is such a warmth in the Fluido culture that it's unheard of in Finland. That when you come to Fluido office and you meet Fluido people, or you meet whoever you meet in Fluido, it's the warmth is the first word that comes. And then it's nice thing that when you put the warmth and the professionalism together, it's striking kind of a combination, because you are doing amazing stuff with the Salesforce, and the proof of that is that you got acquired with quite a nice number of euros or dollars or whatever. So it really manifests in that way. But you could be so kind of proud about yourself, and you are proud about Fluido,
We are.
but you are so kind of humble in the sense that, yeah, we do amazing stuff, but you know, it's and that's like, it's, I don't know if that's because, well, all the companies that we work with are basically from Finland, and that could be easily said that that's a Finnish way of doing things, but it's not. There is this really kind of firm self-esteem about what you do and how good you are. There is the warmth of people, and then there is this professionalism and humble. But the one more thing is that in everything that we've done, we've done Signi surveys for your company, which tells that what people value in your company, what people value in the work life per se, in the whole of the work life. The thing that is what your employees say, and what I can feel is that you're so authentic.
Well, we try to be,
and that's something that is it's so valuable. When you know that when Kai or Pauliina or Risto or whoever says something, it's true. So on above, how to put it, you can build trust on the authentic kind of a way. So there is trust that everything is done in good intentions in Fluido, and everybody. You can be. One of your values is regarded. It tells about that you believe in superheroes, and that every employee in Fluido is superhero in their own kind. One wants to be a Spider-Man, other wants to be Han Solo, or whatever they want to be. But they can be themselves, and that's. You can feel that in your office, and that's, you can feel that when you look at your Instagram feed. Of course, it's all about the parties, but
of course, that's all we do.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
But it's still you're 300 strong now. There are 300 employees, but still it feels like a small company in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like the
You're almost making me cry.
Yeah.
Feels so, yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you. It's exactly as we rehearsed. Thank you.
Good.
No,
it was hard to remember, but no, that because it's really like it feels, you can feel it. I got the goosebumps when I try to explain the culture, because it's so different and so like. Reflects everything which is important also for me as a Panu.
Yeah, that you value. You
do you have any opens vacancies?
Well, we might. Well, we only employ good
professionals,
cool people who are motivated.
Okay.
So we can have a chat afterwards.
Yeah.
But the culture fit would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I can already see. But you did mention the values, and because we are a very value-led company.
Yes.
And we want to keep those in our decisions and everything that we do, and all the actions that we make in the office and so forth. And you helped us in the beginning with the values and why they're important and why it's important to lead through them. So we might have people or companies now listening to this podcast who are thinking like, okay, but we have the values, we have them on our website or we have them on the wall. Yeah. They're different colors and they're really nicely written. So what then? Why does Fluido keep talking about the values? Why do all the people I've had on the podcast, why do they keep coming back to the values as employees all the time? And why is it important to have those? So what would you say that to those people listening who are like, well, we've got values, but,
integrity, client orientation, and something others. Yeah. Values are important because they are very, very strong tool for to help organizations lead their culture. And then unfortunately, the value-based leadership or value-driven leadership has been like, in recent years, it has, the discussion around it has grown a lot, but still there are a lot of kind of the mentality that in my previous work they were just words on the wall, and that kind of drives people to think that they are not important because they haven't been working in the companies where values are true and employees are led through them, and then the values are something that there's a lot of talk about, a lot of discussion about it. How would you do this according to our values? Values are important because they are telling employees how to do things. Because companies we have these kind of 4 key elements in the company. We should have the mission which tells us that why do we exist. So companies should have the vision. Quite rarely they do, but they should have the vision which tells where we are going. So the question is where. We have the strategy which tells what are we going to do in order to achieve our vision and live the mission. And then we have values which tell how should we do things in Fluido or in Leidenschaft or whatever company. And then if we don't tell, and if we don't lead employees to understand how should we do things, then there is one big element missing, and then people can work and do things that in the way that corrupt the culture and are bad for the business. But we have to have a really strong values which really lead our employees' decision making, which lead our employees' behaviors, which leads the way people interact, like we talk about we believe in superheroes. That tells a lot about the company. It tells you a lot about how you should treat your fellow colleagues, your fellow employees. That you have to believe that all of them are superheroes. You have to believe the good in them. And that sets the tone for the interaction and dialogue and communication in the Fluido office.
That particular value is one that I find that we very often have to explain a lot. That people think that superheroes need to work all the time and things like that, and so we have to define our values also, what they mean, and you define it quite well. Also. So we do bring all of these. We bring the values to every day, and exactly like you said, to lead people and help ourselves make decisions.
You have also the value that actions speak louder than words.
That's right.
Which again, it sets the tone that let's not just talk about it, let's do things. So again, it sets the tone that what should I value more, talking or doing? And it's all about the doing things and getting things done. So bringing that into discussion, bringing that into the leadership, those are so powerful ways of saying that when people have to think that, okay, how should I do it? What should I prefer? Values, they just look at the values and then they can lead themselves by them. So you don't have to micromanage all the time that say that, okay, this is the way we do. Because you have five values, core values, and they build a kind of a tight network that helps employees to make decisions by themselves. There's a lot of talk about self-steering organizations, but the problem is in quite many organizations that people don't know where to self-steer themselves because they are company doesn't have the vision or strategy, neither the values. So then leaders are yelling that, okay, self-steer yourself for the success of the company. And well, give me some guidance.
Yeah, tell me what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so now we're doing this podcast series, and we're telling all of our secrets at Fluido. You know, we've talked about
you're revealing everything.
Yeah. So you know, we're talking about our values. We're talking about what it's like to work at Fluido. We're talking about individual people. We're showing people. So tell me, can somebody now come in and steal
your culture?
Our culture. Can you ever steal a company culture? Can you come and say, okay, we're going to take those Fluido values and we're going to set up shop, somewhere in Helsinki and too bad. You told us everything now and we're going to take off with everything. So can somebody now do that?
Wouldn't it be nice if that could be done?
In 2 days.
In 2 days, yeah. The culture... Luckily and sadly, luckily for you and sadly for others, you can't copy the culture. You can't steal anybody's culture. You can steal some practices, and I think that's something that you encourage.
That is fine, and that's actually something I'm hoping that people would.
Yes. We've done. This is the best practice, and this worked for us.
Yeah.
But you can't copy the whole culture because it depends on the leadership. It depends on the personalities. It depends on what you are doing. It depends on what business you are. It depends on what is the stage of your company. Culture is so multi-dimensional, complex, situational, and everything that you just can't copy it. You can copy some practices which you've shared, and I value a lot that you are sharing your good practices, which have been designed mainly by Linus. No,
no, just a little. I said in the beginning, just a little.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
No. But it's. Because then other companies can try them. But because the culture is, there is Edgar Schein has published a long time ago the kind of the iceberg model of the company culture, which says that we can easily see the artifacts. The way your induction process is done, or where you have formalized your values. Those can be easily seen, but they don't they are only the top of the iceberg, and beneath the water line there are the real values and how the values are lived. There is the company's view of the world. There is the mindset. There are the things that are kind of what in your company, what are things that are in consensus that we don't even have to talk about? What is the worldview?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of those things that only thing that you can copy are the artifacts. And they don't stick into your company culture. If you say that the trust is the thing which basically in Fluido the culture is built on trust.
That's right.
That's the main ingredient in your company. And it comes from the founders. It comes from the people who have been elected as a management team members. It's trust is flourished by people who you recruit and choose to be Fluidians. So if you think artifact which is built upon the trust, and you take it to the company which is not built on the trust, it becomes just a cheap trick which doesn't last long. And you can't copy the culture. That's always, and every company should understand that we have to kind of stop and think that why do we exist? Why did we build this company, and where are we trying to lead it? And what kind of personalities we are in the founding members? What kind of personalities we have in the leadership team, if you have it?
Yep.
What kind of employees we have? What are the things that are valuable for our top talent? And with that knowledge and with that understanding and with that insight, you have to start thinking that, okay, what kind of a culture do we want? But you have to build it from your company. Inside out, you have to start understand that what do you want, what do you need, what kind of things you value in your company. So it can't be copied.
Yeah. So we're safe.
You are safe.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And I do just like you said, I'm really happy if people get ideas or if people get these artifacts that you mentioned that, we could do that, or that person said something and that sounds good. We could do that in our company, and that is perfectly fine. And I really actually hope people do that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you. Now I feel safe. Okay. All right.
You can still sleep tonight. Wouldn't it be fun that you give all the
everything
away and then
and then that would be it. No. And I do like when you said that it's something you have to work for. We do work as a whole company towards it. And you talk a lot about leadership and leading the culture, which is very important. But would you say that it's also the responsibility of every employee to kind of
definitely
or cultivate the culture?
Yes, that's nicely put. The cultivating the culture, it's everybody's responsibility at the end of the day. But still, it's the culture, the tone of the culture, the kind of the limits of the culture and the values of the culture come from the founders or the leadership team, and then the culture kind of should bring the people alike into the company, and when people feel that this culture is mine, this is something that I want to share, and this is something that I want to cultivate, then they start doing things which make it even stronger. But you can't sit and wait that, okay, do me the culture or that make it happen. Everybody is taking part of the making it stronger and innovating new ideas to make it stronger, cultivate it. It's everybody's duty. So you can't just say that, make it good.
Yeah, show me the culture.
Show me the culture. Yeah. Wouldn't that be also nice?
Yeah, that we could and come in and do it.
Just to say that either can't the consultants bring it, that make us a culture, and then Leidensaft comes and no, it's perfect. No, we can't do it. It depends so much on the company itself. We can help in that way. We can say that, okay, from outsider, it looks like that your company culture is this and you want it to be like that fix these, and we can help fix them. We can measure it with the Signi tool, and we can do a lot of things with benefit, but we can't build the culture.
Yeah.
And neither can HR by him or herself do it. It's always a common thing to do with the leadership team, and with asking employees to come and join the mission in making the company culture better.
Yeah. Oh, we could spend the whole afternoon.
Why don't we?
Well, we promised also this would be the world's longest podcast, but they're falling asleep in the studio.
That's true. They have left. There is nobody.
Oh no, actually they've left. They've gone home already.
So we can continue.
Yeah, we can continue.
Yeah, okay.
They just.
I understand. You promised to keep it short.
Yeah.
It's the way of Fluido.
Short and simple and to the point.
Yes.
No nonsense.
No.
One of our values is work must be fun.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of no.
It hasn't been fun.
It hasn't been funny enough. No. We were practicing all these jokes beforehand, but then we got down to this serious company culture, and no, it's been a real pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here.
Thank you.
Talk about really important things. I really hope somebody will steal something from if not this podcast, also others that we've, or the other sessions that we recorded. You also have your own podcast.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But it's in Finnish.
It's in Finnish, but still, it's a good way to learn a new language, if nothing else.
It is, because they are long.
Yes, your podcasts are long.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And it's named, I have some problem with the naming, because my book was named Yrityskulttuuri on kuningas, and so is my podcast.
Okay.
Now that I don't know what is the next one.
But it's good. You don't have to learn many things.
Yeah, that's true.
So book and the podcast and all sorts of things. So,
Also.
But, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a real pleasure, always, but especially now since doing this podcast, a lot of fun. And I do hope that you listen to them. We're also...
I will.
Yes, we also have a website for this where you can see all of the different episodes or the podcast that we do. It's called fluidomoments.com. So go check that out.
I will.
Yeah.
And the listeners do.
And the listeners will also, fluidomoments.com. So thank you very much, Panu.
Thank you, Pauliina. It's been a pleasure.
Good. See you hopefully soon.
Hopefully.
All right. Thanks.